Hey, what's good? What's good? Welcome back to another episode of Unapologetically Black, Never Broken, Always Empowered.
That's
It's
what
your
we
Shit
are.
Talk Saturday crew.
Yep.
What's good?
I've been at brunch all day, so
All
please
day.
excuse my hesitations and my drunkenness.
Shout out to Ari, who is our 21st friend. If you have not met your internet
Our
friends
21st
since
internet friend.
coronavirus, meet your internet friends. They are always lit.
They are. They were there for you during the lockdown.
Yeah. You never know what your boys are like or your females are like to coronavirus. Shout out to Rich, too, who's been a real internet friend since day one.
Big facts. Gang.
I met Rich, and I'm not going to say where, but like Rich know where it's been. Like it's been real since day one. Rich has been my real friend since day one, and I just want to shout that out.
Yeah. Once I buy you McDonald's, we're friends.
Yeah, once we run to McDonald's in the rain together, we're
in the rain, in expensive shoes, by the way.
I don't like going out in the cold, and Brittany knows that about me. So if I venture out into you, like what people might not know is rain is cold. Like people like to forget that, like, oh, it's just water. No, it's cold water. It's cold water falling from the sky.
Yeah,
I do not like being cold. Like, call me a pussy, call me a bitch, call me whatever you want, but I don't like being cold, and I'll admit that 100% of the time. So what else do we admit 100% of the time? Rich, what you want to start this off with tonight?
First off, we're gonna throw it out there. R.I.P. to Aaron Carter, who we just found out passed.
I'm so sad. The white girl in me is like, what is happening?
Like 20 minutes ago
with the shot, like bam.
Yeah, it's the kids, baby. You know what I'm saying? For my Jimmy Neutron nerds out there. Shout out to him. R.I.P. Takeoff. Unfortunate out here in the city.
Honestly, the takeoff hurt my heart because he's 28.
I was just listening to that album.
It just irritates me because he wasn't even doing it. Like he was the one doing it.
He had nothing to do with what was happening.
My playlist, like, because I was listening to Migos at one point, it had skipped to Takeoff, and like Brittany had said this thing that like made me sad. She was like, I don't like to listen to people posthumous when it's this like soon. I don't know if you're saying that word right. I've been at brunch all day.
I don't. So when people pass
away, I played the shit out of Michael Jackson when I found out that he died.
It just hurts my heart. That's all. I'm not saying like, oh,
don't get me wrong. His estate gonna eat off of me because I love some Migos.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
His estate's definitely gonna eat.
We definitely a guy that goes to my gym. He's a diehard Takeoff fan. Dude was barely able to speak at work.
And that's sad because he was 28.
Yeah.
I personally am 31. At this time of recording, I am 31 years old. That is sad because I remember being 28 and I can remember.
And we ain't even crossed the actual number that most black men got to get over, which is 33.
Dog, like 33 is like where you gotta hit to be like, I'm lit. I did it. Like I made it.
Nigga, we made it.
Nigga, we made it. Past
33 to celebrate Rich's 33 birthday. Hey, yo, shout out to the podcast.
That's next year.
33 for Rich. We're going big.
That's next year. I'm 32.
We here.
Like, and I told you, we going big. We friends. Rich cannot escape this. I just want the record to show Rich can't escape this.
Oh, well, I'm trying not to. Like, I'm not trying to escape. I'm not 33. I'm not trying
to. I know where you live. Yeah. I am not shouting it out to the podcast, but I promise you, I know where you live. Shout out to Brittany though, because I'll be there. On to our next topic though. What you got for us?
Oh man, so we could start in multiple places. One, I think we could start because we could talk about this one damn near all night. Is I feel like because we applauded Adidas so much and we were like, hell yeah, Adidas, thank you for fucking finally doing something about Ye. That Nike was like, okay, now we're gonna fuck with Kyrie. And I'm just Nike, if you listening, do understand that if you drop Kyrie, niggas are gonna be hesitant to buy anything other than Jordans. Okay, and we only gonna buy Jordans because
Nike sell anything other than Jordans.
Oh yeah, hell yeah, Nike.
I was joking. I shout out
Air
to
Max, Vapor Max, motherfucking
purse,
all kinds of shit. But Nike needs to stop the bullshit. And I think a lot of people fucking with Kyrie, and Kyrie ain't really do nothing. Like, I mean, if you ask me, Kyrie ain't done shit.
So I'm gonna stop here in the podcast to give the disclaimer at any point that Unapologetically Black does not stand for what we are about to argue about. This is Shit Talk Saturday.
We are anti-Semitic. I'm gonna say that.
We do not stand.
I don't know what that word means.
We are
but
not
I'm not
anti-Semitic.
racist.
We do not stand up
sorry.
any hate of any kind, any race, any religion. We do not stand for it. We are
unless you're a
against.
hobo. We dislike you.
Unless you're broke. We
dislike
hate broke people. Shout out to RDI Financial, where you can get all your credit fixed. You can't help being broke, but you can call rich. We do we do not hate any race, any religion, any people, any person, anytime you can step on the podcast. We will discuss our opinions versus yours.
Right.
Absolutely.
That's what we're here for. We're here for a healthy discussion and a healthy discourse. So we now go back to our topic of discussion.
My topic is I really don't I don't understand what Kanye did outside of
Kanye or Kyrie?
So Kyrie, because you say Kyrie.
Yeah, I was gonna say Kanye did a lot.
Let's go back.
Kyrie, did a lot of stuff. Kyrie posted a link about a book or a
documentary.
So Kyrie posted a documentary
that's supposed to be very. People keep saying anti-Semitic, but the shit's supposed to be racist against Jewish people.
Right, and it's supposed to go either way. So shout out to Pod Bay. He did say something about I can't remember the guy's name. I want to say Cal. Sorry, my phone's dead. Brittany's gonna look up the name of the guy. I struggle. He got released from the Heat in, I think, 2020. He was suffering from an injury. If you are listening in the crowd right now, sorry for this. If you are a Miami Heat fan, I also apologize. But he got released from the Heat. I looked up his story.
Max Kellerman. Myers Leonard.
Got you. Shout out to Brad Robinson. I call him Pod Bay because that's the only name I had. He calls himself
Pod Bay. Keep talking.
At the time. So Miles Limmer, what's his name again, baby? I'm sorry.
We struggling.
Myers Leonard.
We struggling tonight.
Myers Leonard. Woo, I still gotta go managing insomnia. Myers Leonard. So Myers Leonard, I personally looked up his story. I can tell you how long ago this was. If you follow First Take, shout out to Stephen A. If you ever listen to this. I listen to you, my dog. Sometimes I disagree with your opinion. Sometimes I agree with it.
Let's go there. Let's say that.
It varies. Sometimes I'm there with you. Sometimes it's like...
He still has more followers than us. So shout out to Stephen A.
Wait, I'm not going to argue that. Yeah, he has a whole TV
hard worker.
Speaking of which, we'll circle back and talk about Stephen A.
We
will talk about him.
You deserve what you motherfucking...
Bookmark. Continue.
So anyway, this was back when Stephen A. and Max Kellerman were still together. If you remember that era, Max and Stephen A. carried us through the coronavirus era. They squeezed every drop out of that like Last Dance, and they gave us content. I promise you, they carried ESPN like it was all Last Dance, the MJ era. You didn't play in the Wilt Chamberlain era. Like I heard a lot of it. She heard a lot of it. That's so anyway. He said some anti-Semitic comments on he was playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
Yeah, stream on
shout out to Xbox, shout out to Twitch. If you listening to us on Xbox or Twitch, we appreciate you. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. We here. So yeah. He said some anti-Semitic comments, and they immediately traded him to the Thunder. Do you know what the Thunder did immediately done, Rich?
Dropped his ass.
They immediately banned him. They banned him from the Heat, and then they dropped him from the Thunder. He's working his way back. He's having his second child. He's gone through healing. He has said his apologies. He has not gotten as much credit and as much like, let's say, help as Kyrie, because talent helps along the way. Because if you're LeBron and you say, fuck white people on TV, there's a certain point where you can get away with it.
Not a certain point. He is getting away with it.
Like there's a certain celebrity and a certain talent level where you can get away with what you're doing. Like
he's going to get away with it.
Absolutely.
Adam Silver's just gonna be like, look, I understand that he's not supposed to say racist things, but like LeBron James is ratings, so you know.
Absolutely. Kobe was accused of cheating, played the best games of his life. Tiger was accused of cheating, played the worst games of his life. I'm not saying there's a correlation, but I'm not saying that you don't remember one or the other.
I'm just
When
all
Kobe
I'm saying is that when Kobe didn't
around
play,
2008, he took
when Kobe didn't play in the finals, ratings were still up. When LeBron didn't play in the finals, ratings were down. Just want people to know that.
Yeah, but when Kobe cheated, or when Kobe was assumed of cheating, shout out to Kobe. You the GOAT, R.I.P.
He's not the GOAT. Stop it.
He's the GOAT of the Lakers.
That's debatable.
It's debatable. I'll give you that. Because there's Kareem.
There's a whole Magic Irving, Magic Johnson, you know, that guy.
Whoa.
I would never put Shaq above Kobe, though. I mean, Shaq exists, but I want to say, you think Shaq could carry a team?
You don't think Shaq could carry a team?
You think Shaq could get those rings without Kobe?
You think Kobe could get those rings without Shaq?
You think Shaq can make a fucking basket beyond the
I'm not talking about a free throw.
Free throw line?
But could Kobe do it in those
Rich
years
has
without
his hand
Shaq?
up.
Shaq did win 3 finals MVPs. Just want to point that out there.
I don't think Shaq could have carried a team without Kobe.
I'm not saying if Shaq was more dedicated,
I don't think Shaq could have carried a team.
Shaq, if you are listening to this, just know I am in your
telling you right now.
$34 shoes. I had them at one point.
They picked Kobe over Shaq only because Shaq was getting older. Because Kobe was younger. Other than that, they would have kept Shaq and tossed Kobe's ass right out the door.
I just don't think Shaq could carry it.
And then Shaq left.
And I'm not
Shaq needs.
And I think same age. If Shaq and Kobe were the same
went
age,
to the Heat and won.
Were to like go, I think the Lakers would have found more stock in Shaq than Kobe.
I disagree.
After that, it took Kobe like another.
Respectfully, okay. Anyways,
so respectfully,
so 10 minutes ago we were talking about
Kobe
Kyrie.
Wanted to go and Shaq didn't.
Because 10 minutes ago we were talking about Kyrie.
Anyway, I don't think he did anything wrong. Me personally.
So
that's like if I repost, like legit, which has happened 1,000 million times, but 12 Years a Slave has been reposted and watched every fucking where, and no one says shit.
But I'm not gonna hold you, dog. If I am the owner of the Brooklyn Nets, or I'm the manager or the coach or whatever I am, and I'm Jewish, I pay you $40 million. Let's count it. That's what Kyrie's contract is worth. $40 million. And you say some anti-Semitic shit.
You didn't say shit.
No, he reposted it. But then when we ask you online, when the team asks you to recount your statements, when the team asks you how you feel, you can't come out and say anything because, and I am not, this is not my words. I am not paraphrasing for the man. He said, how can I be anti-Semitic when we are the original people? Now, I am not myself.
He said, how can I be anti-Semitic when I already know who I am?
That's where I am from.
Or where I'm from. That's what he said. He never said anything about us being the original people. He just said, I never said that.
He said, how can I know?
I mean, he said this. He did say that without saying
absolutely.
Like literally, there's no other way to say that. There's no
Rich
other than saying
it. I cannot be anti-Semitic if I know where I come from.
He said it.
He never said anything about Jewish people. He never said that they weren't.
No, he didn't. But he did say that he was essentially the original.
Yeah, he didn't.
He did not say that. He said, "I know where I come from." He could be talking about Jersey. He could be talking about all kinds of shit.
No, he couldn't be talking about that because when you say, "How can I be anti-Semitic when I know where I come from?" is very much so saying that I am the original Israelite.
So let me ask you a question.
Because that's where the mindset comes from. That's the thought process.
If you come into my house, right, and you say some shit that offends Brittany. And I say,
if I say some shit, I understand.
Absolutely. Okay. Yeah. So if you posted some shit, you're in my house You post some shit on your page.
You post a link, and when I click on that link, it says
we all sitting around.
Mixed bitches are a piece of shit. You need to be darker than a fucking like brown paper bag. Also, spiders are the worst bugs in the world, and spaghetti like mosquitoes suck ass.
You said
like
right, so let's
that's
say, for
what
example,
the post says.
You said Yu Yu Hakusho, worst show I've ever seen. You've seen the link. You hate the show. You see me, bro? I'm out here. This is the one. This is the one that got me hooked.
Okay.
And I ask you about it. And I say, bro, what's up? And you tell me
nothing.
It's just a link.
It is. That's you getting upset because what we post stuff on our social media, say stuff like
right. But when
if for example, your baby daddy should dress up as a man this year because he's been a bitch all year long, right?
That's true.
We post that, but
she
not everybody's baby daddy's been a bitch all year long. But we didn't clarify what we were talking about. We just posted it and just went on and laughed.
But if someone asked you on a media stand to comment your clarity on what you posted,
on what you personally posted on your personal page,
my man.
And
I
decided
am under no obligation to explain myself to anybody.
Right. So you choose not to explain yourself.
But if part of your job is to explain yourself to the
media, a part of Kyrie's job is to talk to the media. It is not to explain.
Right.
Himself.
So Absolutely. He doesn't explain himself. Right.
He does not explain himself.
So media pushes.
But
they ask again.
But the more you talk
They're
to the
asking
media,
everybody around
the more you get money. Because LeBron talks to the media all the time.
Yes.
And how much does the media love LeBron? Like. So I'm not gonna hold you. You are not a One Piece fan, but in One Piece, I've learned the one thing in the world, in the One Piece world, the media controls who you are. They make you who you are. The Pirate King in the media, the Pirate King didn't become the Pirate King until the media said he is the next Pirate King. And it's like, oh shit.
But the media already has their perception of Kyrie.
No,
that's just not going to change.
The media does not have that perception of Kyrie. The
media already made up
who Kyrie is as a person,
which is why they have half the issues that they have.
Absolutely. But the people at home do not have that perception of Kyrie.
Wrong. People at home already have their minds made up on what Kyrie is.
No, because you don't see it until the media tells you. You didn't know that Michael Jordan punched Steve Kerr until you seen The Last Dance.
Yeah, but do you see how people already had their made up perception of who Michael Jordan was? And so when they found out that he punched Steve Kerr, it didn't change shit for them.
Absolutely not. I didn't have a perception of who Michael Jordan was besides the basketball player before I watched The Last Dance. Brittany, did you have a perception of who Michael Jordan was before you watched The Last Dance?
I mean, other than who he is,
like the basketball player, the baseball player, the guy who sells you shoes, the guy who shows up on TV.
Right.
That's who you had the perception.
The Last Dance didn't change shit of that.
My perception of Michael Jordan came from Space Jam.
Absolutely. So we didn't have a perception of Michael Jordan before we seen The Last Dance and got to see his actual personality when he's stressed, when something's happening, when he needs to get the job done. Because that's who you really are. That's who you come out as. That's who you, Richard, come out as the boss of RDI Financial.
What does this have to do with Kyrie? It has nothing to do with anything.
It doesn't.
It has everything to do with Kyrie. I'm telling you.
Nothing to do with Kyrie. It has nothing to do with the fact that people are going to believe who Kyrie is no matter what. Like,
and what is Kyrie? What is Kyrie? Other than a basketball
Kyrie
player?
Has been the same person who one does not get along with media. We've seen that. Well before this, he doesn't get along well with media. He's already called them pawns, and he won't answer them. He said that. We've seen him do this. The same we've seen Marshawn Lynch not answer questions and just say, "I'm here so I don't get fired."
So I don't get fired.
Absolutely.
I'd rather you say that though.
I would so
than
much
beat around the bush
because Marshawn made me laugh when he said that.
He
but
did.
Do you know what Kyrie said?
But it's not. But the thing is Marshawn Lynch was just as serious as Kyrie is. How Marshawn Lynch was like, I'm here so I don't get fined. He wasn't joking. He was serious. I don't want to be here. I don't want to answer these questions. It just became funny to us. Kyrie's the same way. Kyrie answers questions. He answers it the way he wants to. And you're not going to, we already know that they're going to try to do what all media people do. We're gonna ask a question. We media people want a yes or no answer, or like this straightforward answer, so that they can give a sound bite towards it, or so they can cut it out and clip it and say, "Oh, see, that's what he said." Rather than Kyrie saying, "No, I'm going to answer it the way that I want to," and if you don't like
Kyrie
answer,
Irving, if you are listening to this,
he's not. Y'all keep saying that.
I promise
you they're not.
But if you are listening to this and if you hear your name coming up, we invite you on to the podcast to tell your side of the story and to tell how you feel about this, because we can't keep speaking about.
I guarantee you, if I got Kyrie on the show, this is not what I'm talking about.
Absolutely. Moving on to the next subject.
We didn't even talk about this subject. Y'all talked all around the fucking subject.
You didn't. It's Jamal.
Talk about what he said, what happens, the fact that he got suspended. Y'all talked around it and moved on.
That's Jamal. I'm trying to get there, but he goes everywhere else with it.
My bad. I'm letting you talk. Go ahead.
So I gave my point. I don't feel like he should have been suspended because I don't feel like he did anything wrong.
So I feel like he should have been suspended because he didn't
apologize.
Because he didn't apologize because he hurt a group of people's feelings. If this would have happened to the black people,
apologize for who?
If people would have, he said some anti-Semitic shit. They asked him,
he
what's
didn't say
anti-Semitic?
What I'm saying, so my original example, aside from what you said, was mixed women are a piece of shit. You know, mosquitoes are the worst animals, and are like spiders or shit. You know what I mean? And it's like, and I say, I agree with some of the things that this documentary said, and that's all I leave it at, and I drop it. And you don't know what some of these things are, and some of those things are very hateful to people.
Right? He said, I agree with some things that it said. He said, but we know that there are some things in it that aren't true. We know that some things have been put inside of it to kind of, make it.
Which is why I said what I said. Like, you say something
to exaggerate
rude, and then a bunch of things you agree with. Right? Mosquitoes are a piece of shit animals. Like,
but it just depends. Like, people thought the same thing about I Am Christ. Like, there's things that you liked, things that you disagreed with, things that was said.
But he didn't specify. He dropped a link.
He said that he did. That's exactly what he said. He said he did not specify with the things that
he didn't specify.
He didn't specify what he believed in. He just dropped a link.
He just dropped the link.
Right, and then
what does he need to apologize for? All he did was drop a link. No one told Jeff Bezos to take it down from Amazon.
Absolutely not.
And he's making money off of it.
Absolutely not. But when you work for a certain set of bosses, and
are we upset at Kyrie because he shared a link?
No, but
are we upset because the documentary exists? Are we upset because Jeff Bezos still makes money off of it? Like, what the fuck are we really upset about?
I'm going to take a second to shout out my job. Shout out to Insomnia Cookie. But if I were to say, what? Because for a second, give me a second. Just give me a second. All right. So if I work for RDI Financials, right? Let's say I shout out to RDI Financials. Let's say I work there and I sign this confidentiality agreement where it says I can't do certain things on social media, or I can't do certain things, or I can't speak about certain things. I don't know what's in Kyrie's contract. I don't know what's penalties and what things you're supposed to say and what you're not supposed to say.
But we know that that's not in there because none of that was their basis for
absolutely not. But I'm telling you, in the terms of where we are in society, it's socially construct that you are not going to talk bad about a black person. You are not going to talk bad about a Jewish person.
Correct. But he did not talk bad about anybody.
Absolutely. But that person did not appreciate what he said as his boss.
He didn't say anything. That's the point. Kyrie never said anything.
But he put something up.
And you want him to apologize for something that he didn't say or didn't do.
So you're the boss of RDI Financial.
But wait, no. My question is why? Why put it up?
Now, that is a question that they should have asked. They didn't.
They did ask him.
And we didn't get a response.
He said next question.
Because we started answering questions.
In the midst of everything that's happening, because despite you being a free thinker, despite him thinking that the world is flat, despite him thinking, all fucking vaccines are evil, whatever the fuck Kyrie thinks, despite all of that, in the midst of what is happening right now with Kanye and the world being all up in arms about anti-Semitic things, why?
And then Kanye posted a picture of him.
My thing is why not?
But why?
Why can't he share a link on his page on his
He can
Facebook?
share. You know what?
on
You're
his
absolutely
Instagram?
right. He absolutely can share a link. But I'm saying being
So-
aware of the time that you're in right now, and if you actually watch the documentary, so you're aware of the things that aren't that you don't agree with, and you're aware of the things that you do agree with. So you watch that documentary, and as opposed to saying,
why now put that up?
Right, and as opposed to saying, I don't agree with this, but watch this documentary because there is truth in it. There are truthful things, right?
Because we've never had that standard for people that post a link for documentaries. Never. We've never
No,
said
we haven't.
it's
But there
not
aren't.
really a
But
standard.
not
Post
every
a
single.
link
But not every
to give
single
specific spots
documentary
of what
has
they agree or
hateful
disagree
speech
with.
in it.
So if
No,
I put
you're
up
right.
a standard
Not
or a
every,
documentary
but not
that
every
agreed
documentary
with Jeffrey
has
Dahmer,
hateful speech
then
in
you'd
it.
agree with that shit? Like if I said Jeffrey Dahmer agreed and he should have been killing.
But
these
no,
people.
we shared his documentary and no one said if they agreed or disagreed with it. We just shared it and talked about it.
People have been throwing panties at his dad's residence. Like they have been showing up in great mass.
Yeah, but I'm saying like we didn't require that another fucking celebrity explain what they mean when they shared the link. We never required that. When they shared 12 Years a Slave, no one required that they did that. And
No,
that had
but in
all
certain
kinds of hate
cases-
speech in it.
but in
When
certain
people
cases,
share
you do
songs,
require
no
what
one
certain
requires that
people-
they give what they believe about this link when
Listen,
they share it.
I'm not going to argue about all of this when the welfare queen himself has not gotten this much publicity. Where's Brett Favre?
That's a whole nother.
Where are we talking about Brett Favre at? Like Brett Favre didn't get back the money. Like, you know what else we not talking about? Like, and I'm going to tell you vet to vet. You know what we don't hear enough about? North motherfucking Korea is attacking South Korea right now. We are firing missiles between Koreas to Korea. And you know what we're not talking about?
That because that's Korean news.
It's U.S. air. It's U.S. air to ground flying back to back too, my brother.
Yeah, but that doesn't necessarily make it American people news.
No, but that makes it. We should be on the lookout for that.
But I mean,
you know what they're telling
like,
us?
we're not Russia and Ukraine. Like the government, like we should.
Yeah,
be
I argue that shit wasn't news for us, and I don't know why the fuck we needed to know it. But
it's not news to you that Korea is firing on Korea. It's not news to you that Korea is firing on Korea while Russia is firing on Ukraine.
No,
and we're being involved in both affairs.
No, that's not. It's not. It should not be news for us.
That's news to me.
That's foreign news. Do we know what China's doing with Turkey? No, we don't know what China's doing with Turkey because we don't give a fuck. Like what? No,
I care.
Like
why? So listen, why do you care what Turkey and China are doing
on the motherfucking play? Do you know what my master sergeant of my training camp told me when I got to Fort Lee?
No,
he told me that the news is as important as waking up every day. You need to know what's going on in your everyday world so that you know what's happening to you. If you don't know what's going on around you, you don't have a right
if
to
you're
be
in the military because you may be deployed there. I'm not being deployed no goddamn where. As a matter of fact,
what you gonna do? Just like act like you don't care? You sound like a guy that didn't register to vote. If you don't go out there and go vote, everybody take this chance. If you don't get the chance,
what the fuck does voting have to do with anything?
Voting has a lot to do with a lot. My brother, if you don't get out there and vote, you don't got a right to say anything.
What the fuck? This has nothing to do with nothing. Oh my god.
So I like to say now,
I'm trying to figure out where you're going with that.
All right. Well, we had mentioned Stephen A. earlier in the show.
What did he do?
So I do want to mention. So he came out and said that he feels like he is underpaid. I think how much was it? A few, like
8 million.
8 million. He makes 8 million a year when Charles Barkley just signed like $120 million fucking contract.
100 million. Shout out.
I would argue that TNT is drastically bigger than ESPN.
TNT, but I will absolutely bigger. But I will also argue that Stephen A. is ESPN. When you're looking for sports, you think about
when you look for ESPN.
I would now here's
think about Stephen A. is in the top of ESPN like personality.
When you think of broadcasters, you think of Jalen Rose and Stephen A. That's who I see in my mind when I look for ESPN.
No, because I can think of Shannon Sharp, Skip Bayless.
Nope, that's Fox. They on FS1.
Oh yeah, they're on FS1 along with Chris Broussard, Nick Wright.
FS1.
But
FS1.
I mean, know what they like they but they
You're not even
lose their
thinking of
ratings. They
ESPN.
lose their ratings toUndisputed.
Right.
Absolutely,
Okay. I just
but you're not
literally
thinking of
quickly
ESPN.
Googled ESPN's net worth is $50 billion. They
Believe it.
pay Stephen A. $8 million.
And he just got a new
Yeah.
show, Stephen A's World.
ESPN also has like
Yes,
fucking
NBA.
5,000 employees that they pay millions of dollars to.
Absolutely.
But you know who they employ most?
But do you know who you think about when you think about ESPN?
You know who I look for when
What-
I
How many people make minimum wage when the fucking boss is making well over that? Like,
I mean, well,
He deserves-
ESPN is a corporation. It's not like one man owns it. It's a
owned by Disney
corporation.
though, right?
Huh?
Owned
Yeah,
by
and
Disney,
ESPN is
though,
owned
right?
by Disney. It's owned by
which is
Disney.
even
Which
bigger than
means they
50
can afford it,
billion.
though, right?
Yeah. But
Like,
the
and I'm
thing
not
is,
gonna hold you. If I could afford it,
First Take couldn't even keep like the same co-host on there because they got boring after a while. Like,
that's because it was hard keeping Max and Steven when they both agreed on the same shit. Over time, you're
it's
going to agree
boring.
on the same shit.
Skip and Shannon have been on air together for 6 years.
Flag
Skip
on the
the
play.
beat.
Let's break the fourth wall. We skipped co-hosts. All right. Let's not pretend like we didn't do the same thing.
Whoa.
When you become too agreeable, you got to change out, my brother.
What is happening here? No.
It wasn't me this time.
No, that's not what we're doing.
That's what we're doing.
No.
I'm here.
No. Let's rewind this thing, okay?
When you become too agreeable, then
We're
shit.
talking
All I'm
about-
saying is $8 million is
$8
on the
million
low
is
ball
criminally
side
under
of things.
fucking rated for
When you know you're sitting across from the table from a nigga who's making literally 20 times your salary.
Yeah, but that's TNT.
I get it.
Yeah.
But Charles Barkley and Stephen A are in the same room.
And
from
people
time
would
to time.
argue, that they'd rather watch Charles before they watch Stephen A.
for an hour.
Yeah,
Because that's what you see Charles for. Like, I'm
To
not
me,
gonna hold you.
Charles-
Charles Barkley be on there for 2 hours a night.
Charles doesn't have the passion behind his words like Stephen A do.
Oh,
I
no.
be-
As a whole.
even when I don't believe Stephen A,
Charles Barkley is funny as
passionate
fuck.
about his shit.
Absolutely. I love Chuck. Like, do not get me wrong. I stay up for EJ's Neato seat. Shout out to EJ, Charles, Shat. If y'all listening, I listen to you all the time on everything, big fella. But yeah, like I love this.
I mean, I don't know. I would say Stephen A probably is underpaid, but I mean, it's not by much.
Wow.
Me personally, but I'm not a journalist.
feel like
I
that's-
don't, I don't know
You
what
got
he
it.
should be
That's
paid.
how mad I am. I'm
you
mad you
or
keep
what the
saying
ratings
that.
are.
I
But
spelled
I
it
know
wrong
that
because
I
I'm
can
that
watch-
mad that you keep saying if you listening, they ain't listening.
They will and play back.
They ain't playing back this far.
But I can watch
I'm
First
not
Take
saying
without
we
Stephen
doing
A.
bad for ourselves, but they ain't playing back this far.
So, but
Woo,
That's-
yeah, no, I do think he's being underpaid. I like when I originally saw it, everyone under the post were like, oh, rich people problems. But like when the person you literally sit across, whether it's TNT or not, when the person you're sitting across from openly has signed a contract that everyone in the world knows about is fucking 20 times what you're making, it's hard to feel like you're not being underpaid. So
I mean,
You got 6 times the
that's
show.
what happens when you the sixth man on the roster. I mean, shit, you can't get mad at niggas like LeBron making money and you the sixth man on the team.
Shit, would you be mad if you Jeremy Lin and you rode the bench to a ring?
Nope.
I'd be mad. I'm at the G League.
so
So
But speaking of rings, did y'all hear what Shaq had to say to Kanye about keeping his name and his business out his mouth?
Yo,
Hey.
Kanye just need to shut the fuck up. Like these days, he just.
I don't know. Well, I heard that he took a vow of silence.
He did not. He
But
broke that vow and got
I
back
would
on
say this:
Twitter.
Ye has had very weird ways of explaining himself and his meanings behind things.
this is how you spell it.
What I'm gonna say is that where he might not have said the right things, Kanye West's overall message was not wrong. His overall message was not wrong. and that we kind of give leeway to shit as long as it's not like bothering us. So like he said, black people say anti-Semitic shit about each other all day long, but because we're saying it to one another and Jewish people get paid off of it, no problem. You know, we let companies say stuff that they want to say all the time, and we still shop there.
No, we get the black community let companies say that. But when the white people say it, or when the white people do something, now we have to be mad. Now this is our fight. It's not our fight. When it was our fight, it was when you said slavery was a choice. When it was our fight, you said George Floyd got murdered by fentanyl in the system. When it was our fight, you said.
But that's not his only thing that's saying. Like, y'all are picking two parts that were like, oh, you said these two dumb things. But Kanye's overall message has been for black people to be able to fight against the system as a whole.
Kanye's overall message has been confusing, my brother. It has been flip-flopping.
It's not confusing.
I love black women.
The message is not confusing.
I'm gonna marry a white woman. I love my black people,
but I'm
never going to leave Chicago. I'm going to go back to the middle of wherever the fuck I am. In Wyoming.
A broke clock is right twice a day. I ain't gonna lie.
Absolutely.
Twice a day. Like, you can't wear a MAGA hat.
Stay there in that same MAGA hat, look you in your eyes and tell you George Bush don't love black people. And that's the same broke clock that we listening to.
But like he said, you didn't fuck with Kanye when he said
it's gotta go.
When Kanye said George Bush don't give a fuck about black people, we criticized him then. When Kanye wore MAGA hat, we criticized him then. When Kanye said he loved his black women, we criticized him then.
But we did
when Kanye got with Kim, we criticized him then. Kanye has been a part of criticism no matter what he does.
We are not supporting him. Now you are upset. Now that we don't support him after he's been talking down on black people for so long.
No, it's the fact that we would rather look at not supporting Kanye than to look at his message of stop allowing companies, corporations, and people that run these big box corporations to stop allowing them to fuck us over. We'd rather fight each other.
Right. Because
Kanye is not.
You don't have the answer, Sway. He was over here saying, nah, these corporations are my friend.
Yeah, so he left us when these big
time
box
after
corporations
time
and
has
these white
been...
people had him in their pocket. He left us when it mattered to him. He left us when it mattered to his pocket. You can't sit here and tell me that Kanye cared about black people when he.
I'm not saying that. I'm not talking about what Kanye cares about. I'm telling you what it. So I'm not going to listen to his message. You can't tell me his message is still correct.
My brother Rich, if you tell me at one point I'm gonna kill all you black people, and then tell me minute, you got to listen to my message.
No, I'm just saying.
Aside from that, Kanye. If we were to talk about what Kanye's currently talking about, right? Aside from the anti-Semitic. If we were to talk about him on this White Lives Matter like trend right before the anti-Semitic comments, right? Which is weird because what? How they matter, but you anti-Semitic, but okay. But he was saying that the message or that Black Lives Matter was a sham. And
the movement, not
the message,
the organization,
still what it is, huh?
He was talking about the organization, not the
organization. Right.
The organization.
Yeah, but not the organization, not the movement.
It doesn't matter. The movement's way deeper than the organization.
The Million Man March didn't matter as much as you didn't have to be at the Million Man March to still
embody the statement, right?
To feel the
right. But he's talking about people in power and Black Lives Matter. He's talking about the people in power. He said, I feel like those people are corrupt. But their message, what Black Lives Matter stand for,
he didn't say that part. What you're saying is not what he said.
You said it's not what he said.
He never said that part. He stopped at the beginning.
He said Black Lives Matter.
He stopped and said, "Yeah, the organization's a sham. White Lives Matter." That's what he said. He didn't say the message is still strong. Cops shouldn't be killing Black people, but white lives also matter, because that's a dumb statement.
You're at the end of the day, a man who didn't paraphrase for himself.
You're taking
but he spoke about white lives matter. What he said was he was using that.
He said it was a joke
and being sarcastic and saying, I guess only white lives matter because they're the only lives that are being taken into consideration.
That's not what he meant.
That's not what he meant.
We don't know what he meant. That's what he said he
know
meant.
what he meant. He has half white kids. Let's move on.
Right,
So
his
speaking
kids
of
are
white
half
people,
white. Like, why would he say, "Oh, I guess they only matter"? Like, what? He is on many.
You're half
times.
white. Well, you're not. We're not saying
I am
that you're
not half
doesn't
white
matter.
in any way, shape, or form. I don't know any
Don't
white people in my
disrespect my wife
family.
like that.
I don't know any white people in my motherfucking family.
Black Lives Matter over here. So moving on to
less melanin matter. Then I guess.
Moving on to white people, Dan Snyder is considering the Snyder family is considering selling the Redskins. RG3,
not considering the nigga has to.
I mean,
when you commit tax fraud, motherfucker, like, yeah, no shit.
I mean, so the Snyder family, Jay-Z is considering, Jay-Z's considering, RG3 is considering. There are other couple. Jeff Bezos is considering. Yeah.
I don't know why the richest man on earth has to consider any fucking thing. Just buy.
They have to consider him
because literally when they
said the NFL has to consider him.
Right. When they said Jeff Bezos and RG3, I was like, I know a former player is not capable of fucking outbidding Jeff Bezos. So here we are. Like,
so it's not necessarily an outbid. It's more of a who do I like?
Who's the best fit for the team?
Who's going to fit in our family and our circle versus who's not.
You won't be a black person. There are 32 teams in the NFL. All 32 owners are white. You're not going to be a black person. I can tell you that right now. So Diddy can go ahead and throw that out. The RG3 can try to. I don't know what money RG3 got to buy a fucking NFL team, but okay. But that ain't happening.
A good old Navy federal loan.
Maybe Fed can't buy fucking.
Not over Jeff Bezos and fucking Jay-Z.
Not for the price that he's asking. He's asking for it.
Yeah, not over them.
So I don't know if you follow the story as closely as we do because we are like Washington locals. They're saying that it's projected at about $4 billion and it could be at $5 billion. And I'm not arguing with that statement.
Redskins team?
Yeah. So when you come in, right?
The Commanders.
They're the Commanders. So universally, that team is already not it, right? So you can come in, wipe the slate clean, and everyone who bought a Commanders jersey will rush to the store to buy everything new because you have to. Now that's 3 logos down. So now you have to like change out the Redskins from the Commanders to whatever it is now.
That's assuming that it stays in the city. They might literally move it.
Well, it's not currently in the city.
It's not even in the city.
Technically, it's in Maryland.
Yeah, it's in so you don't know.
They play like 10-15 minutes from where we currently live.
Right
They're
down
in
the
Maryland.
street.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that's assuming that it stays there. They might move it somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like if it goes to someone like Jay-Z, a New York ass nigga, he gonna try to move it.
I do not want to see another
that way.
There's already like fucking 3
it's saturated. The market is saturated
in New York,
and like I don't want to see LeBron buy it either because LeBron wants to bring like. Did you hear about LeBron wanting to bring an NBA team to Las Vegas?
I feel like Vegas deserves something. They don't have anything.
Vegas has a football team.
What do they have?
They
have the Raiders.
They have the Raiders, and they have the hockey team that just
won.
The
Raiders. They're the Vegas Raiders.
Yeah, Las Vegas Raiders.
Is that recent?
They were from Oakland
Did you not watch the last season of Ballers?
Pause. I did watch the last season of Ballers, but that doesn't mean real life. Like what? Ballers isn't a reality TV show. It's like a sitcom. Like what?
But they did the same thing. They followed the same like.
But it's not even. It's a made up TV show. You really went Ballers. It's a made up TV show.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I was like, I mean, no, I didn't realize.
Pause. Real life. Can I tell you why I went Ballers in my head? So
I was outside of the inebriation, yes.
Outside of inebriation, there was a guy who told me I look like Denzel Washington's son.
Yeah,
I didn't see it. He told me I look like Ricky from Ballers. And I was like, sure. Like, whatever. But the hockey team that just won the finals, what was it, a year or 2 ago? Jason will correct me from the comments if I'm wrong. But they were in Vegas too.
I don't know. The fact that a hockey team in Vegas can win anything is crazy to me because ice can't stay on a sidewalk.
But
Like, what you mean? It's the desert.
The Penguins
They are
win.
winning. The Golden Knights.
There you go.
But
See?
anywho,
I know. I think it's tonight that the Astros are going to try to close out this World Series against
They ain't
Phillies.
closing out, brother.
We
I
closing
do
out
not want to see
tonight, baby.
Bryce Harper win it. Bryce Harper is going down.
We're gonna close it out.
As a DC native,
We're
Bryce
gonna be
Harper
World
cannot win
Series champions again, baby.
this. Hey, we
Watch.
gonna see. Shout out to Drake, who had some foul shit to say about Megan Thee Stallion. Did you hear about that?
I heard about that.
Drake had a lot of foul shit to say about Megan Thee Stallion, Serena Williams' husband. Like,
Yeah,
did you hear
he's a
that album
groupie.
though? That tune was dog. I'm struggling to make it through it. Like,
I'm not a fan. I'm not gonna hold you. It might grow on me. Some songs are alright, but I'm not a fan.
I mean, out of everything
ain't
she
it.
decided to become was a rapper.
Mommy. We could be a mom.
Elk
Yeah,
the
but-
Stallion, though. Who the fuck is that?
I mean, Meg the 5'10" snaps, dog. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and act like she don't be rapping.
Who?
Like, Meg,
She don't.
stop playing, dog.
Not playing.
You don't think she got no bars?
Very little.
You ain't think she writing her own music? You don't
Fuck
think it's
no.
good?
Fuck no.
Disrespectful. Meg Thee
not even a
Stallion
question.
is fucking dope. Anywho, moving on because
He
no.
said as a rapper. We're not talking about her as an artist
We're
overall
talking
and her as an
about
entertainer.
rapper. I think that
as a
she's-
rapper.
I think
As an
a rapper,
entertainer,
she-
she's nice. As a
I
rapper,
think as a rapper, she's probably one of the top women rappers that are played, that are in the top 100. I think she's one of the top.
when I hear
Oh
her
shit, there's not 100 women rapping right now.
But no, in
But
the
I'm
top
saying
20
of the
rapper
people who
women,
are currently playing,
in the top 5,
who
I
are
put Meg as my
actively,
number
yes,
one.
Meg, right now,
I
Meg.
not stand on that.
I'd say Meg.
Who would you put above Megan Thee Stallion?
Nikki, because he's
Right
a Nikki.
now.
He's a Nikki
Right
stan.
motherfucking now as you
He's a
listen
Nikki
to rap.
stan.
As I listen to rap, Nicki's definitely
say he's a Nicki
1,000%
stan.
better than Meg. I take Cardi over Nicki. She's a 1,000% better than Meg.
Cardi over Megan or Nikki?
I mean over Meg. 'Cause
No,
she's
she don't write
better
her own
rapper.
lyrics.
Young and May is a better rapper. Pregnant and all. Young and May is a better rapper.
Wait, Young M.A.'s pregnant?
I don't know if it was a joke or not, but I did see it. I seen it on the gram. It was probably a Halloween, Halloween costume.
Gotcha.
But I
I
seen it.
feel like that was definitely a Halloween.
People
joke.
people in Ohio used to think my sister was Young M.A. That was just fucking hilarious.
But Young and May is definitely.
Oh yeah, you want to check out
Way better rapper than Meg.
later, my brother, to see who he was talking about, or if y'all in the comments, go ahead follow.
He's saying that's a German IG model. That's who Drake was talking about. She
Yeah,
got
that's Elf
shots.
Stallion.
Lying about shots. She don't get the joke, but she, still smile or whatever the fuck he said. She still
Oh, is it that white like redhead chick?
that actually makes more sense than it being Megan, because if she don't get the joke, it's a language barrier.
Mm-hmm.
Anywho, so if that's who he's talking about, cool.
But speaking of
I mean,
artists,
even Meg Thee Stallion said he ain't dropped my name, so until he says my name, it ain't about me. At me, nigga, is what Meg said.
Meg better leave Drake alone. If
Meg
she likes
said
her
at
career,
me.
For what?
if she likes
Meg
her
said
career,
at me.
For what? What this nigga gonna
Meg
do?
said go back to your
Because
country.
he got very like
Drake has ended careers left and right. Fuck you talking
it's
about?
been very.
Meg said at me.
He did not end Meek Mill's career.
What?
He said it. He rocked it.
The
He rocked
little career that Meek Mill
Yeah.
had left, Drake took and
it.
destroyed.
He rocked it. Meek Mill still.
Meek
making
Mill has
records.
a good song.
No,
that is
Meek
it.
Mill is still putting out albums that are selling.
Meek Mill has a good song. That is it.
No, they're still charting on the top 200,
Stop.
the top 100.
First
As
off,
long as they are charting,
stop.
I count it.
No.
So, anywho, I don't know if you heard, but Dwayne Wade's ex-wife is suing him over their daughter. She
He
is
said that
claiming,
he's exploiting her
yes,
to the
which is ridiculous to me because Dwayne Wade doesn't need to exploit his children to
Well,
make
actually, go
money.
back to,
not to make money. He doesn't need to
any
exploit.
kind of money.
Not
Like,
to
the city of
for
Miami
anything.
would
Not
What,
for money.
what do you think he'd benefit from exploiting his children?
Okay.
Between
not saying
him
that.
and his
I
wife.
just want to point this out. I'm not saying that he is, but
Right, no, right. But what
if
would
he
he
were to
gain
gain anything, Dwayne Wade definitely got more popular.
I disagree. I think
for
Dwayne
those that
Wade-
were non-basketball fans, he definitely became more popular amongst a community that was growing popularity.
But I
Dwayne
also
Wade-
think he gained more hate from the community who loved him prior to.
Nah,
Absolutely.
hell no.
Like, I think he lost equally as many
Absolutely.
fans.
Hell no.
Richard,
He didn't gain weight.
Richard. Side note from the conversation, like I'm not even going to bring up a conversation we've had off record. However, as a black man and so many other black men who may have been fans of Dwayne Wade, when Dwayne Wade came out and supported his transgendered child,
When Dwayne Wade said
there
he was
are a
getting his
lot of
booty
black
eaten
men
by
who
his
would
wife,
facts.
y'all
Side
said-
note, none of that.
Okay, I would say they
Side note,
didn't
there are a
stop
lot of black
fucking with
men
him
who will
over
say
it.
that they will turn their back on their child for something like that. There are a ton of black men who did not support Dwayne Wade or even understand that message. So while he may have gained more attention and popularity in the LGBTQA essentially community, he did not necessarily continue to have that same popularity with his fans prior to. Not necessarily.
I feel like but what he gained was more valuable because what he can do is he can say, see, look, I gained this popularity or I gained this trust with this group of people. And then he can turn around and say, see, look, as I'm trying to be more open-minded and do this and do that, see how old school these people are? They hate, they do this, they do that. And then now everybody's mad at them.
I hear you.
So he has something to gain.
Like,
I don't believe that I
believe
believe that he's actually just loving his child.
Loving his child.
I believe that he's just loving his child.
As a parent should.
Understand his child.
As a parent should.
This is not him trying to get publicity. This is not him trying to, this is him living his life.
This is literally unconditional.
I believe Dwayne Wade had no idea what to do.
Yeah.
He didn't know what to do. And so the only thing he knew to do was to just
accept and love his child.
Because, like, I promise you, if Ryan came home to me and said, Daddy, I don't want to be a boy anymore. I want to be a girl. I can't look at Ryan, my baby boy, in the eyes and say, son, I don't accept you.
Absolutely.
You can't be my son anymore. I
don't see what he stands to gain. Like he already has
he has money, he has celebrity, he has everything that he would need.
He overall has a positive career. There's not much about Dwayne Wade where you can say
or take away his legacy.
He did something terrible, right? So it's not like he's trying to
NBA Finals, he won it. Like gold medal, he won it. Celebrity, he got it. Money, he got it. What else are you taking from this man, or what else would you give to him?
Yeah, so
I think at that point, it's definitely not about money.
I feel like she's trying to like.
It would be more if whatever argument she would come up would be about trying to build certain relationships with certain people.
I think her goal may be to gain custody, and I think her best way is to try to attack the celebrity of it all.
Right, and it could be that could be it.
It has to be it.
But I don't think he's exploiting her at all.
Absolutely not. I feel like Zaya Wade is out here living her best fucking life. She looks fucking fantastic. She be eating up all these fucking fashions. She's happy. And he is supporting his child. And that's all I'm going to say about that. I think he's made strong decisions about a lot of shit. But at the end of the day, I don't think he's exploiting his kid in any way, shape, or form.
No. Like if my kid comes to me and tells me, I want to be a girl, what can I say other than okay? Like,
I mean, there's a lot of shit you can say before you say okay. But
absolutely. But if like
not saying that you should just be like, oh, all right, son, fuck it. Like, no, but there's tons of shit you can say well before you say that.
No, there's a lot you can say.
There's a ton of shit.
But if you're looking at it from the perspective of unconditional love, which if there is any type of love that's unconditional, it would be between a parent and a child. I'm not saying everyone has that connection, but that is the one connection that I feel like at least from the parent to the child, right? Because as a parent, I know I'm flawed. And if my kid grows up and says, fuck you, you're a shitty parent, I mean, I can only say I tried, right? But I'm but from a parent to a child, unconditional love, that's what that looks like. I'm accepting you for your ideology. I'm accepting you for, who you are as you're budding into an adult. I've instilled morals. My goal is to raise you to be a good adult. Who you want to be from there is on you. What your career path is,
But now,
all of that
mind
is
you,
you.
that's to get you to adulthood
Yes.
first. I have to get you there first. She's not an adult.
She's not an adult. No.
So that's what I'm saying. So
he's still on the ride, loving you till you get there, teaching you till you get there, and accepting you till you get there. Like, if one of my sons decided they wanted to paint their nails, I'm here for it. Let's do some creativity. It is what it is. Like, I'm not gonna shame you for you expressing yourself.
Yeah. I mean, I here's my only issue with that is people believe like it's either shame or nothing. Like, you can still say no without shaming people. Like my son said, Dad, I want to paint my fingernails. No. But I'm not shaming you either. I'm not gonna come out and like,
no, that's
what the hell.
That's super, right. That's really girly.
No, my answer is no. That's not in this household. That's not what we do. Now, what you choose to do when you get older, and I've already given you the values and morals of how I see fit for raising the child that I have to pay for. And then when you get older and you're like, no, Dad, I can take care of myself. You do what you do as you please. That doesn't mean that I hate you. It doesn't mean that I have to shame you. It doesn't mean that I have to bash you. It just means that my answer is no. And a lot of stuff, newsflash parents, you don't have to explain yourself to your children for a lot of stuff. I don't have to, not on everything. I don't have to explain my answers not to the niggas that I pay for. I got to explain myself to the woman that I make decisions with, but not to the nigga that benefits from what the shit that I got to buy. No, I don't always have to explain myself to you. There's a lot of times where I can say, look, this is just what it's going to be. And you might not understand it and you might not like it, but damn it, this is the best I can do right now in explaining what I need to explain. So the answer is just no.
Jason's point. He said, I don't have kids, but me, myself, I would ultimately accept it, but I would talk to them to see if they understand decision. But what could I do? Which I agree with. At the end of the day, it's a lot of heartfelt conversations. While, Zaya's not an adult, at the end of, like, she still may be far more mature than we know. You know what I mean? Like, it's a between him and his child.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it comes down to. And that's it. That's all. I have one last story before we wrap things up. Salt and Pepper finally got Salt and Pepper
and DJ Spinderella.
Yes, got their star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. So congratulations.
Yeah.
They deserve it. That was my jam. That was my shit back in the day.
Salt and Pepper here.
And we're in effect. Want you to push it yet. Who in the day and by night.
All right, that's it. That's it. When one cut off copyright.
Hey. Trust me, I don't sound anything like them. They ain't about to sit up here and copyright this.
What in the hell? She sound like me.
So congrats to them. I love seeing Black excellence, Black women doing their fucking thing. I mean, who's mad at Salt and Pepper?
Nobody. That's the thing.
I don't think
anybody's ever hated
on restaurant. And nobody mad at Salt and Pepper, dog.
Yeah, nobody's mad.
Shut up. Stop talking. Stop talking.
Anyway, we gotta get out of here, folks.
Yeah, we gotta get out of here. Thank you guys so much for joining us this evening. This episode, like every other episode, is brought to you by RDI Financial. You can't help broke people being broke.
Gang.
All right. So make sure you guys hit up RDI-Financial for all of your credit and financial needs. Let them know you looking for rich. You trying to get your shit together. You want a house, you want a car, 2023 coming up real soon, et cetera, et cetera. Make sure you guys like and follow us on all forms of social media. Make sure you listen to us on every single platform you can find podcasts. And until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, and stay unapologetically Black.
Gang.
Good night.